So a couple days ago or yesterday, I don't remember. Honestly, I don't pay attention to time the way people do nowadays, or they used to anyways. People probably are paying less attention to time now that this quarantine's going on. Probably starting to fall more in line with my types of habits, which are basically just to live in the present moment and just go off whatever time there is now. Um, Anyways, man, I really go on rants sometimes, don't I? The video was supposed to be me basically summoning an angel or a spirit that wanted to communicate with me, that wanted to help me in my process of healing in that moment. But it didn't go out the way I thought. It didn't turn out the way I thought um, the thing is, I hear the entities in my head just suddenly, randomly, and it's not like there has to be a whole big process for me to start, hearing or connecting to them. They're just always there, you know. I just have to tune in to the station, if that makes sense. I just have to switch my mind to that frequency, and they're there automatically. It's not, um, yeah, it's not like I have to wait for them to come through or something like that. So they start talking to me, and it's like I have a relationship with each one of them. They start to, see me in a certain way or paint me in a certain way, and angels and entities, other spirits, they also have personalities. Just because they're not alive in bodies and they don't have, the same type of chemical reactions within themselves as we do, they're not, they have personalities. They still have their their identities that make them unique from one another and from the whole. So sometimes some of them are annoyed at me, and some of them are pretty sassy. One of them in particular, his name is Chiron, Chiron. It's also been spelled Kyron. Yeah, he's pretty no bullshit, straightforward, cut to the chase, blunt type of personality. And he can get pretty frustrated with me sometimes. He's not the only one that has gotten frustrated with me. There's been others that have been frustrated with me. I think Archangel Michael is like the only one that's never been frustrated completely with me. And I love Archangel Michael for that. But yeah, he's one that's gotten pretty upset at me, or annoyed with me, I guess. And another one is Lady Portia. She's like, she helps people with their artistic side, their creative side. If that's the type of thing that you're trying to get help with, she's good to help with that. And she was helping me at one point through my art to help me, relieve myself through there. But she got frustrated with me as well, because I'm very stubborn. I'm a very stubborn person, and I have all these great things that I'm great at, and all these different talents that I have, and I don't focus enough on one to be able to have something manifest out of it that's a strong foundational support for not just myself but the people around me. I haven't been able to do that, or I haven't done that yet, and I've explained before, and I've told them before also why um, that's the case, and it's mostly just because of my own personal stubbornness, my own hesitation to move forward in my life, in to that point in my life where I'm at that level of success, and I have that level of responsibility under me. Um, I already know what that's going to entail from me, and I just have felt very weak emotionally, extremely low self-esteem, and it's very hard for me to just be able to stay positive enough to, I guess, stay focused on one. And I sabotage myself on purpose because I'm afraid, like, of who I could become if I got to that level with this level of self-esteem and hate and rage that's inside of me, that's uncontrolled. If I just, try to ignore it and just go along, I'm afraid of what I could be. And I mean, I've said that before. I share a birthday with Hitler. We have the same birthday, April 20th. So, and I have been a leader in a lot of things that I've done in my life, in school, in sports, in clubs. I'm always a leader, if not the second in command. I'm always on top of stuff like that. So I'm just afraid of all the different outcomes that could come through if I'm not strong enough in my emotions. And I'm very hurt by a lot of stuff still, especially recent things that have happened, like within my family, within my own life. I'm very hurt still from a lot of those things that just happened, a year or two ago, months ago, to this day sometimes. And I'm just learning how to be able to deal with all that pain in a healthy way, where I'm not taking it in and just making it become a part of who I am in a way that's gonna tell my story in a negative light, that's gonna tell the pain of my story, as opposed to the success and the power that I've come out from it, if that makes any sense. So, because I think there's so many people in the world right now that are just great and so powerful, and they have so much potential within them, but they're just throwing it all away. They're just trying to survive in their pain. They're just trying to survive in their traumas as much as they can, as much as they emotionally can, and sometimes, or most of the time, it's not always the best thing for us all. So anyways, this video was supposed to be me talking to one of, I wanted to talk to Chiron if he wanted to talk to me, but he was talking to me right now. Before I pushed record, I was talking to him, but he was kind of he was just telling me the truth, pretty much, in the most blunt form possible, telling me that basically what I've been saying now, but just in a more forward way, that I'm scared, that I'm so angry because I'm afraid because I feel alone, and I feel hurt, and I feel like I have no one really in my life other than my daughter, but that's a responsibility, not something I can lean on. So I can't, or she's a responsibility. I meant like that relationship, not that, my daughter. I have no relationship with anybody that I I can feel comfortable enough with to express everything that I truly feel inside, so that I could feel lighter and relieved from the stress and anxiety and tension that I feel every day. And all I do is just take in stress and anxiety from everybody else all the time. So it's harder to even, it's even harder for me to even fucking talk. Because I'm just so... And I know, like, I know these videos, this is like my therapy. I've said it several times. This is like the only way I can do it. And this is my relationship with anything where I can relieve this stuff in me. And honestly, like, if I didn't have this, my life would probably be a lot worse right now than what it is. Because I would go fucking crazy. Like, I would. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I wouldn't. Like, I know I would. Go fucking batshit crazy. And it's understandable when you know everything that I do about the world that we live in and how it runs, and the choices that are placed in front of us, and the people that benefit off of what, and you can see everything together. It all makes sense when you start to put it together, how fucked up this world is. And it's understandable to be very angry about that when you know that. And a lot of people, a lot of friends of mine, activist friends, they understand that feeling as well. They know how it is, they feel it too. They feel that as well. And like, honestly, like, that's one of the only ways that or people that I could vent to, about this kind of stuff is them. But at the same time, it's like you have to start wanting to do more than just vent. You have to start wanting to organize and do something about it, and that's what we've done. And in the past, anyways, lately we want to. I know that one of my activist friends, Andres, he really wants to like start getting on it again and doing stuff. And there's others as well. I know they feel it, and there's younger activists now, that are doing things. I just passed by earlier today. We passed by where they were painting the Defund the Wall mural here in our downtown city, and that was awesome. Like, if I didn't have my daughter and responsibilities here to worry about myself at this time, I would be there too. And I actually wanted to go so I could see, close up, but they had all the streets closed off, and we couldn't, we would have to gotten down, and we didn't have our masks, and it was a whole bunch of crap. So it's crazy. But yeah, there's a lot of people doing a lot of good stuff, and that makes me happy, because before, it wasn't like that. Back when I was first starting to protest against Occupy Wall Street back in 2006, I believe. 2011. Bush was in like 2005, 2006. Well, anyways, I started protesting here with some people about it, and it was really hard. Like, there was a very strong sense of fear and anxiety within the group. Like, when we'd go protest, we actually stopped doing the protest because the organizers of the group at the time were getting death threats from people, and they got scared, so they stopped doing the protest. And when we were protesting back in 2014 here for the shooting death of Jose Walter Garza and the police state and the elite, the 1%. That was what I was protesting more specifically myself. The corruption. When we were protesting that, we got some warnings, you should say. I should say, because they weren't exactly death threats straight out, but they were just little, like, people just try to intimidate you, or they try to say something to get you to back off so that you don't go down a certain direction. It's just all games, mind games, and they did that to us too. And we actually feel that there might have been an attempt on our lives. Me and Andres and another activist friend of mine, Gilbert. Well, he's not really my friend anymore, but he's still an activist, fellow activist buddy. Yeah, we were all in a car and we got hit from behind really, really hard, and we don't know if it was an accident or on purpose, but it seemed like it was on purpose the way he came, because he could have gone around, but he didn't. But I don't know. And the guy, that guy that hit us, his name is Rick Guerra. He has a karate class here, karate business here. He's actually friends with Marco and Jerry, his brother, and Diana. They know what I think about him or whatever, but I don't think they think it was on purpose that he did that. I don't know. It could have been. It could have just been coincidence. Who knows? But I told him off. Fuck yeah, I told him off. I told him off hard. Fucking almost got arrested for it. I was telling him off so hard. And I told him off through Facebook too. He just said there was mistakes on all parts that night. I don't know why the fuck he was saying mistakes on all parts. Whose mistake, what, who made the mistake. I don't know if it's because I feel like, honestly, the cops that night, they knew who he was, or he knew who some of them were, and that's why, they didn't make a big deal out of it, because they said he wasn't drunk or anything, but I don't believe that. I believe if he wasn't drunk, he was high off coke, or he was fucking high off something. He looked wired. And yeah, they just fucking let him go. And the only reason, honestly, why I didn't make more of an issue was because we had I'm not gonna say what we had on, because I don't want to incriminate ourselves. I don't want to incriminate us, but we had a substance on us that night that was illegal, and they could have taken us to jail for that if they wanted to, and I didn't want to get arrested, so I just let it go. But I was fucking pissed because I think they should have arrested him. He almost fucking killed us. He was going over 100 miles an hour easily around the fucking corner on the loop, right there where the LEA is, where that corner comes when you're coming from the north to the south. He's coming from around that corner. We were turning from the LEA. Well, we had come from Howells actually, but it was in that street when you're coming out, and we turned right, passing in front of the dealerships there, Honda or not Honda, Toyota, whatever the fuck it is. And I just see the fucking lights, all of a sudden coming around the corner not even within a second. Not even I didn't even have a second to fucking think about what I was gonna do, because he was coming around the corner so fast. And I was going slow. I had just fucking turned around from making a right turn. I was just turning into the loop. And yeah, I was going maybe 30, 40 at the time, barely speeding up, and he fucking boom from behind, over 100 miles an hour. I was I already knew, actually no, I didn't know that he was gonna hit. When I saw the lights, I expected him to go around, because you're thinking, you're coming that fast, you see a car on the like way right lane fucking merge. There's no other cars. It's fucking 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. There's no other cars. Just go like around. Nope. Motherfucker. Driving in the slow lane. Going over 100 miles an hour. Hits us. Bam. I was being watched over by, I know Archangel Michael was there for sure, and I was being guided by another angel. Not sure who it was at the time. Somebody just basically like came into my space and my mind and just took over completely, and was like, you need to take control of this situation now. And I did. I fucking, as soon as I just felt the car like going up, because we like literally like went up all the way like that, because he hit us so fucking hard. And then I just see the fucking front of the console, like where the radio is, just pop out. Just boom, pop out. And I fucking, I'm like, oh shit. And I know as soon as that happened, we're gonna fucking come back into the floor. So I'm already like with the wheel, like, because I'm like, okay, I have to fucking control the wheels. I have to control. If I don't control it, we could flip, because we were going like, so he hit us so fast and we went so high. And yep, I landed. The fucking car starts fishtailing, but I'm like a fucking NASCAR driver there. I'm like taking control of the wheel so that I could, make sure we don't flip over. And as I'm doing that, I'm trying to get control of the wheel. Fucking Andres is over here on the passenger side, like freaking out. And Gilbert, poor Gilbert, was in the back seat. He had gotten a pin between another seat. Like, he got squished down by a seat, and so I think one of his lungs had collapsed, or something to his rib had happened. He got hurt pretty bad, but he was in the back, like, all squished and freaking out, screaming, like, and I was like, fuck, I couldn't think as hard with that, and I yelled at him, like, calm down, and he like calmed down right away, and I told him, let's calm down, and I'm like driving, yelling at them to calm down, and then they started like calming down, both of them, and I could tell him that I started praying. I felt him starting to pray, and then I got control of the vehicle. It ended up going backwards. We ended up backwards on the fucking median from being in the right hand lane. I was fucking pissed. I wanted to go kick his ass, but I didn't want to get arrested. That's a trauma for me that's been, that I've kept like bottled close to my heart. Because I felt like if there was an attempt made on my life, my family didn't really seem to care about it all that much. It's like almost like they thought it was my fault for being involved in that kind of stuff, for getting into politics or activism. And that really hurt a lot. And I'm gonna fucking stop right here before I start crying.